Hey everybody, Vexing here, and welcome back to the Kerbal space program. Now, last time I was orbiting the moon, not the planet, the moon of Minmus. But here I am on Kerbal. I'm at the KSC right now, so what happened to my plane, or my rocket, you ask? Well, it's still out there. So I'm gonna actually click on this tracking station, and here we see the planet of Kerbal. Right there is the flag where we landed on our first orbital flight, and here the Minmus landing attempt. There I am, my ship orbiting around Minmus. So let's click on fly, and let's attempt to land on this fucker. Now, like I have mentioned before, I have never made a successful landing onto any planetary mass. Let me keep the resources open. So if I were to... Basically, I want to land right here in this little flat bit, because that is roughly sea level, so I can check my altimeters to make sure that I'm not going to crash into any mountains. There's really... I can't really tell on that side because it's the night side. But yeah, this little flat bit is really what I want to land. Being on the flat bit close to the mountain bit would probably be ideal due to the fact that I could probably get two different surface samples. So let me add a maneuver here and see if I can decay my orbit. I'm going to aim somewhere in the middle. Okay, I think that is going to be good, and I can adjust my orbit accordingly. So, well, I'm actually right at the blue reticule node. Let me just adjust slightly. Now keep in mind, I still do not have any RCS or SAS. This is still very early in my career. Oh, and I'm going clockwise around this. That's interesting. Okay, coming up on the node. Let me slow this down slightly. See, and as you can see, the node, the moon rotated during that orbit, so I'm gonna adjust this even more like that. Because I am flying opposite of its rotation. Okay, so let's time accelerate some more. And getting close, getting close. Gonna stop this at about a minute. I'll go to the 30-second mark. Okay, the estimated burn is not available. So we're just gonna burn until we exhaust all of our delta V. So I'm gonna start my burn now. Slowly, slowly. It's coming down. And that's where I'm gonna land. Just like that, close this. Now how much fuel do I have? Oh, look at that, I have almost a whole fuel tank. Now, also, I do not have landing legs, but the gravity of this moon is about 5% of Kerbal, so I should be able to just use RCS, hop right on top of the, very carefully of course, not trying to knock over the rocket, because that would be disastrous. And I could probably just hit the ladder and grab it. Am I on the... Yeah, I'm on the dark side now, but I'm gonna... My approach is gonna be actually on the light side. So let's speed up time just slightly. Readjust my trajectory so I'm pointing at this prograde vector. Let me see if I can get an EVA report really quickly. Keep the data. I'm gonna do a crew report. How much electric charge? I don't have a lot of electric charge, unfortunately, because I don't have any batteries. $14,000 meters, 13,000. Now this is very nerve-wracking, so I'm gonna hit F5 real quick and quick save, because I can always pull up and just start accelerating away, and I won't have to worry about crashing, because I really don't want to crash. Just gonna accelerate slightly to try to make a more vertical descent and try to lower my orbital descent to roughly 75 meters per second. 78, 77, 70. Oh, I stopped it almost exactly at 75. Now, I don't know what the ideal descent speed will be, but that's just what I choose. Now, is this canister? Yes, it is. Crew report. Is it still the same? Yes, it is. Now I'm 6,000 meters above the surface. Well, above the sea level of this surface, roughly. I'm gonna burn a little bit more, because I'm coming in at a 45-degree angle. I want to try to make this a little bit more of a 90-degree, because I'm going to try and land right on that pipe. Now look at that. It's not perfectly vertical, but it's getting there. And where am I going to land? according to that, I'm going to land right on this big area. Burn a little bit more. There. Now I'm coming down at an almost perfectly vertical. And I still have well over half of my fuel. Yeah, I have 180 gallons or whatever the unit is of fuel, and I'm at 118 left. Why is my retrograde vector so far off of the 90 now? It was at the perfect 90 and now it's not. How am I close? See, the tricky part is you want to be watching the surface speed, and at the same time you want to be watching the altimeter so that you don't crash into this planet, because crashing would be bad. I'm at 2,000 meters. Now look at this. I mean, this moon, I almost said planet, this moon looks very bluish green, but it looks like it would be a very exciting keep saying it, very exciting moon to land on. This is a very huge scientific achievement. Now, we're getting very close. We might be able to start seeing our shadow, because there's the sun. Lower my speed slightly. I want to try to get below 10 meters a second. There we go. We're at 10. Well, it's going up now because we're still falling. Where's my shadow? It should be opposite of the sun. Now, if I can do this, this is going to be a huge achievement, not just for the Kerbals, but for myself as well, because I have never successfully landed on any planetary mass. We're at 134 meters. Where's my shadow? Just gonna keep hitting the fucking throttle slightly. I should be seeing my shadow any second now. Just keep tapping. There it is. I'm going back up. And I touched down, but I started tipping. So let me just get this perfect. I don't want to bounce at all. Going up though. This is very nerve-wracking. One of these days I'm going to be able to make it. There! Am I falling? Am I falling? I think I got it. Look at that. My vessel has landed on the moon. Crew report. Crew report from Minmus's surface. Transmit that data. I'm gonna do an EVA. I'm going to do an EVA report. While in space near Minmus's surface, I am falling. Come on, Jebediah Kerbal. You need to pick yourself up. And one microscopic step for Kerbal. One giant leap for Kerbal kind. Now look at that. I am on the surface of the moon. EVA report. Overwrite. EVA report from Minmus's surface. Let me take a surface sample. 150 science. I am keeping that. The surface seems to consist of tiny crystal-like grains. Very pretty, probably not edible. And let us plant the flag to symbolize our achievement of landing on a moon. Let's see, what should I call this? Well, I'm gonna do this. One small step for Kerbals. One giant leap for Kerbal kind. Yes, I know, not very original, but that's just what you need. First Minmus lunar land. Did I put a space there? Lunar landing site. And there we have it. Now, I do not have a ladder on this, but I don't think that should matter, because we are going to head back to Kerbal. So let me turn my RCS on. Grab. We're gonna board the ship. We have our EVA report stored, our surface sample stored. Now, let's boost up our rockets and head home to have a hero's welcome. I'm going to set this apoapsis to about 30,000. Add a maneuver here to circularize an orbit. Moves at 20 and 30. Doesn't have to be beautiful because it's just going to be for us to make our return trip. Oh, this isn't good. I do not have any and this is why we have to quick save. Because I accidentally just jettisoned my rocket. So yeah, that is why we quick save, because accidentally jettisoning your rockets while trying to make a return trip home, not really a good idea. So I lost all of that progress and have to load it up once again. But maybe this time I can have a much better and much cleaner approach. Or maybe I'll crash and burn like I did the previous time. Well, not crash and burn, but just keep bouncing and losing my just every time I tried to make an approach, I just kept bouncing and starting to roll. So let's cut the engines. I'm gonna speed up time ever so slightly until I'm at, until I'm at 28,000. Can I do a crew report? That's worth 20. Drop my speed below 20 meters per second. And you know what I think I forgot to do anyway while I was on the surface is I forgot to do a goo sample. So that will actually work out for me in the long run. Now let me match the reticule up to the retrograde vector. Get this to approximately true north. Now that looks pretty good. And now that I know that this big flat area is in fact 0 meters sea level, I'll know that getting very close to the surface, I know that that's 0, so coming in on the approach, I'll know exactly how close I am. Because if you're on a mountain, you don't know exactly how close to the surface you are. even though I just did this, it's still nerve-wracking. And there. First attempt. I maybe had a little bit of a bounce, but that was my first attempt. And I'm not going to do the same mistake of transmitting a crew report. I'm just going to do crew report, keep the data, observe mystery goo. You observe the mystery goo from Minmus' surface. Now I'm going to EVA, let go, put on my RCS thrusters, and here we go. Once again, I am on the surface of Minmus. Grab my EVA report, keep data. You feel a bit like a superhero when you jump in the low gravity. Take my surface sample of 150 science and plant the flag. First Minmus lunar landing site. One small step for Kerbals. Oops. Why did it do that? I was in the middle of typing. I'm going to take that down and replant it. Because I was in the middle of typing it and it canceled out on me. I don't know what I did. First Minmus lunar landing site. One small step for Kerbals. Did it again. Now where's my... Oh, there it is. Flag. For Kerbals. There we go. I have to hold shift and press enter. And for the fourth time, first Minmus lunar landing site. Okay, and I have my surface sample, right? Discard sample, review sample, review. Yeah, I have all of my thing. I did the mystery goo. Now let me turn on my RCS thrusters. Grab onto that. Board my ship. And we're back off and heading back to Kerbal once again. Now last time I did a full 90-degree exit, but this time put a maneuver right there approximately. Actually, it doesn't have to be at all good. I just have to get a circular orbit but that was my attempt at landing on a moon. And to be honest, it was quite successful. But my success will be defined by if I can make it back to Kerbal or not. So let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Bring up this nav ball. And lower the time acceleration to about 3 little arrows. Actually, I'll do one more until I see 2 minutes. Now, I don't have to be precise at all on this. I just have to make myself have an orbit. Okay, there's my orbit around Minmus. So now let me zoom out. Let me set this as target. Now let me... I gotta figure out how to get a approach onto Kerbal, which I believe is just... that's a little off. Let me bring this in. Well, this might not be efficient, but it's gonna have to do for now. So let me line this up right here. Make my way over to the node, well, not the node, but warp till I get close to the maneuver time. Almost missed it. You gotta be very careful when you're time accelerating because you don't want to go too fast because you will miss your node and then have to do another orbit around. Now, I'm not going to wait anymore because this is just a simple exiting the moon's gravity. So let me zoom out, start my burn. It's going to be a very light burn. And as you can see, my apoapsis is expanding. And now I am orbiting around Kerbal. Let me close that. Time accelerate until Kerbal grabs me. And now I am in Kerbin's gravity. Where's my periapsis? Is right there. It's my closest point. Burn retrograde. You know what? I think before... Now, I'm not going to risk it. I'm no Scott Manley, so I am just going to make my way back to Kerbin. I'm not going to chance trying to get a slight encounter with the moon just for the science points. I can make my own separate trip. That's 500,000 meters. 163. 86. That'll be good for now. So let me time accelerate as usual. Now look at this, I only need 256 meters per second of delta V, which is nothing. If you remember correctly, it took me about 40 seconds worth of burn to get out to Minmus, but getting back to Minmus, it's taken me 4 seconds of burn, which is ridiculous. But that's just the way it is. Getting out to a planet or a moon, or whatever, requires you to spend a lot of fuel, but making your way back is relatively easy. Okay, we have an hour and a half to go. 40 minutes. 15 minutes. Now again, if I miss this window by a significant amount, it's not going to be a big deal. So I'm just going to start my burn now until my periapsis becomes very close. Or I could probably just... I want to try to land somewhere and grab... Actually, I don't think I can grab a surface sample. So I'm just gonna burn this until I don't have a periapsis. Because if I don't have a periapsis, that means I will have a impact with Kerbin. And there it goes. I don't have a periapsis. Now let's time accelerate slightly. Oh, look, you could actually see the flags spinning around. That's actually kind of cool. And there we go. Look at that. I can see my house from here. Or can I? I don't think I can. So let's time accelerate slightly. How far above Kerbin am I? Now, I'm just going to see if I can land on the light side, but I don't think that matters. It's not nearly as scenic, but I just want to make sure that I actually do land, and I don't want to die is the thing. So let me burn, well not burn, but I'm gonna point retrograde. I'm still 350,000 meters above the surface. The problem with landing like in an unexpected area is, again, I don't know where the sea level is, but I have enough fuel that I could just do what I kind of did before. What's that? Is that anything? No, it's just, I think that's just part of the surface. Because I don't have anything floating around unless it's part of my ship. Before I do anything, I'm going to see if I can get an EVA report. It's only worth 1.6, but you know what? It's an extra 1.6. Now I'm inside Kerbin's atmosphere. Let me burn slightly. There, I'm now burning on the re-entry. Look at the G meters going up. I'm at 15 Gs. Now it's going down. It's such a cool looking effect. Now let me burn my engines so that I slow down my speed. I'm actually going to change my stuff just slightly so that my parachutes deploy without me losing my rockets. Try to get this again above. Oh, I'm going back up. No, I'm not. Oops, the rockets were still engaged when I fired them, but they should explode. Yep, there they go. But I didn't need any of that stuff anyway. My pod has separated, my parachute has deployed, all of my research is intact. No, I do not want to overwrite a crew report. So let me time accelerate slightly. And I am going to touch down right there. And look at that. I have successfully landed on the moon of Minmus and recovered vessel. How much science did I recover? I think that was a significant amount. 462 science. Holy shit. 462 signs. That is incredible. Well, I hope you've been enjoying this series so far. This has been Vexian. Please like, favorite, and subscribe. And I will make sure that I produce more videos like this, and I will see you next time in episode number 4.